The United Nations Secretary General issued a chilling warning at the G7 summit in France today.
Antonio Guterres says the globe is facing a climate emergency, but G7 leaders are agreeing to provide logistical and financial support to fight the devastating fires across the Amazon rainforest. France President Emmanuel Macron has unveiled a $22 million fund to fight multiple fires in the Amazon.
This comes ahead of a crucial climate change summit at the UN General Assembly in New York next month.
Among the main agenda items for these world leaders was the urgent, even critical need for the Earth's temperature rise to be kept below 1.5 degrees Celsius and a carbon-neutral world by 2050.
He pointed out how July was the hottest month on record and how the level of CO2 in the atmosphere is the highest during human life. The Secretary General emphasized that we need more ambition and a stronger commitment, pointing out how society, in particular the youth, are mobilizing ahead of the Climate Change Action Summit that is being held here in New York in September. The Secretary General added that the G7 summit had been an excellent opportunity for him to appeal to the international community's very strong engagement.
But it was this vacant chair belonging to the United States President Donald Trump during the G7 climate roundtable that created a new stir, just as world leaders were discussing how best to help the fire-ravaged Amazon and reduce carbon emissions.
Is it fair then to say that the United States President is no longer an ally of this Secretary General's top agenda item, which is action on climate change?
Okay. The analysis part of this is your responsibility. I'm not going to.
I'm asking you a question.
I understand you're asking me a question.
Is the United States President an ally of this Secretary General? I'm trying to answer it to the best of our ability.
The Secretary General in the past has had good conversations with the President of the United States on climate. We look forward to the climate summit, to the participation of the United States authorities in the General Assembly debate as well. But again, our position, the Secretary General's position, has been made clear. His sentiments, I think, as you've read them and as he mentioned them in the press in Biarritz, as he will mention them again to you directly, as I have no doubt, on September 18th, are very clear. The compare and contrast part is really your job.
At a press conference and in response to a question on climate change, President Trump said he was not going to lose his country's energy wealth on dreams and windmills. The UN chief also earlier downplayed the impact of Mr. Trump's intransigence.
The fact that we speak is not what matters here. What matters here is to have a strong engagement of the American society and of the American business community and the American local authorities.
As the rainforest responsible for roughly a fifth of the world's oxygen, while absorbing some of the globe's carbon dioxide emissions, is itself a raging furnace today. The last 5 years are on track to be the hottest on record, and the UN boss is pushing for world leaders to attend his Climate Action Summit next month and bring with them new commitments to raise ambition above what was agreed to in the Paris Climate Change Accord. And as the G7 presidency now shifts to the United States, where the next summit will be held next year, climate change, at least in that forum, could very likely be put on the back burner with President Donald Trump at the helm. Sherman Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.